What is up, you guys? It's your boy Mike from Balls of Fury. Welcome back to the channel. A question that I get asked a ton is, do snake bites hurt? Now, there's a couple different answers I can give you guys. Yes and no. In my opinion, ball python bites are really not as bad as people think they are, but it depends on the type of snake that's biting you. If it's something very large, like a reticulated python, then yes, it's probably going to hurt and you're probably going to need medical attention. Or if it's something venomous like a king cobra, then yes, it's definitely going to hurt. And yes, it could potentially be life-threatening. So in today's episode, you guys, I'm going to talk to you about the do's and don'ts when it comes to handling ball pythons. But also you can use these with any other species of snake that you keep. But I specifically work with ball pythons, so I'm going to show you the techniques that I use and stuff that you definitely should not do when you're going to handle your snake. Okay, so something that you definitely don't want to do, you guys, is if you have a snake that is already a little bit nervous, it's tried to bite you a few times, you definitely don't want to hover over the snake like I am right now. This will make the snake very nervous. Also, making eye contact with the snake and erratic movements will freak it out. As you guys can see, I'm reading the body language of this guy. He's already taken a few pops at me before, so I know he is a nervous snake. And what I want to do is actually try to build trust with this animal so it's not afraid of me anymore. Now, this snake is actually for sale, and as you guys can see, he's going to follow my hand wherever it goes because he is very nervous. He's unsure about what my intentions are, and I'm moving erratically. I'm moving my hands all around. He doesn't like what's going on, see, and he doesn't trust me. This snake is only a few weeks old, actually more like a month old, but I want to tame this guy out before I send him out to a customer because I always like my customers to get super tame animals. It just makes them way easier to deal with and it makes it way more enjoyable. I don't like working with an animal that's afraid of me or that doesn't trust me. So what we want to do is build trust with this guy. And as you can see, he is definitely a little bit nervous. He's following me. You definitely don't want to put your face anywhere near a snake when it's in a position like this because it will bite. And you have to remember when you're working with snakes like pythons and boas, or if you're working with a venomous animal like a pit viper or a rattlesnake, something like that, they have heat-seeking pits. So any part of your body that's very warm, like your face, your hands, whatever the case may be, that's going to give them a target to key in on. So you definitely want to keep those things far away from them if you want to avoid being bitten. Now, if you guys watch, if I hover over this snake like this, he's going to freak out and try to bite me. He's being pretty good right now, but as you can see, he's trying to take pops at me, and that's what we don't want. Now, what we want to do is build some positive threads with this guy so that he will trust me. Something you definitely want to do, guys, is read the body language of the snake. Look at this guy. He is fired up. And as you can see, he is in that classic S position. He's ready to strike. If I get anywhere near him, he's going to take a pop at me. And as you can see, guys, look, he's following me all the way around the table, watching my movements. He's very unsure about me. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do next to avoid being bitten by this guy and actually handling him and getting a positive interaction with this snake. Woo, he is feisty. Look at that guy. So I actually don't need to use this tool now, but definitely use a tool if you have a defensive snake. Maybe I do. He's coming back up. But as you guys can see, he does not want to mess with me. He is being very defensive right now. What I always tell people is snakes are not aggressive. They are defensive. They bite for two reasons, whether it's food or defense. And as you guys can see, he's ready to pop at me. But you can use a snake hook. I like to use a paper towel roll. The reason being is if the snake bites the paper towel, it's nice and soft, it's not going to hurt the snake, and it's also not going to hurt me. I'm not going to get bit. So what I like to do when I have a snake in a defensive position like this is I'll actually take my roll of paper towel. He might bite it, you guys, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly tap him on the head like this, get his head away from me, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pick him up from the back. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this guy up like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to try to build a positive interaction with this guy. Now what I'm going to do is I might just sit here and hold him like this for about 10 minutes or so and actually try to gain some trust with this animal. As you guys can see, I got him in my hand. We're doing great so far, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab a seat and just talk to you guys while I handle this beautiful little snake. So just to review with you guys, the first don't that I said earlier was don't hover over your snake like I was. That's gonna freak the snake out, make it wanna bite you, and basically scared the crap out of it. So definitely don't hover over it. Also, definitely don't keep it near your face if it's in a defensive position, especially something like a ball python or a snake that has heat-seeking pits, because your face is very warm and they're gonna definitely key in on that and try to strike at that object. So keep the snake away from your face. Also, another thing you guys may notice me right now doing is, although I can see the snake in the camera frame, I'm not making eye contact with the snake. Now, the reason I'm not making eye contact with the snake is because our eyes are gonna freak it out. For some reason, with snakes, dogs, any sort of animal really, if you're looking directly at them and they feel like you've spotted them, they're gonna take that as a threat and become defensive automatically. Now, this guy, he's actually doing pretty good. We're getting some tongue flicking. He's starting to move around a little bit. He's actually starting to relax, as you guys can see. Now, another thing you definitely don't want to do is make erratic movements. Now, unfortunately, when I talk to you guys, I like to use my hands, but for now, I'm trying to control myself and stay nice and relaxed with this animal. Not because I'm afraid of it or anything like that. I've been bitten by this guy and a few of his siblings, actually, and it's really not a big deal if you get bit, you guys. But I want to develop a bond of trust with this guy, because if I want him to overcome his fear of me, I need him to trust me. So what you definitely do want to do is just chill out with your snake, let it do its thing. You can also hold it a little bit higher up like this. That sometimes will make the snake feel a little bit more comfortable, and it will actually feel like it's up in a tree. And look at this, you guys. As you can see, he's already starting to chill out a little bit. He's starting to give me some good reactions. He's not trying to strike at me. He's flicking his tongue. He's actually thinking. So this is a really, really good thing. Let me go ahead and switch him into this hand. Now, something else you definitely want to do is support your snake's body. Now, he might go into runner mode because he really isn't thrilled that I'm handling him right now. He's kind of just dealing with it because he has no choice. But as you can see, he's trying to get away from me. So you always want to just make sure you're supporting the snake like this. And if they go into running mode like this guy is right here, you just want to kind of let him go through your hands like this, let him do his thing, and you're not going to get bit. He's trying to just get away from me. He's not in a defensive posture. He just wants to get away and be left alone, really. But what I want to do, and look how beautiful that spotting is. Oh my God, you guys, what an awesome shot. What I really want to do is just build trust with this guy. Now, this is a really positive interaction, as you guys can see. He's doing absolutely awesome. He's just hanging out, chilling out, and we're getting positive threads here. That's what we want. And as you guys can see, I'm supporting his body as he's crawling through my hands. I'm not making any crazy movements that are scaring him or freaking him out. He's doing absolutely awesome. And also, guys, once that trust is established, I'm telling you, you're going to have an amazing animal that you're working with. It's nothing better than working with a ball python or any snake for that matter, or reptile that trusts you. That's the main thing you want to build when you are working with a reptile, is trust, especially something like this baby snake who's very nervous. Now, you guys got to think about it too. In the wild, a little baby ball python like this is basically a food source for anything bigger than it. So when they see you, a giant, coming out here, hovering over them, picking them up, naturally they're going to be pretty afraid. So it's expected that this guy wants to bite me, and it's expected that he's afraid of me. But we want to break that by doing this. So just handling him like this. And now another thing you don't want to do, guys, is basically handle the snake until something really bad happens. You basically want to handle him for, I usually do about 10-15 minutes of positive interaction, and then I go ahead and put the snake back in its enclosure. That way we end on a positive note. There's no biting, there's no bad interactions, because this is all being registered by the snake. If he feels like I'm a big, huge monster and I'm scaring him, he's going to remember that and basically be like, every time he sees me, wanting to tear my hand off, because he thinks I'm trying to hurt him. Now, I'm just trying to gain control of him. As you see, he doesn't really like his head being touched too much, but he's chilling out. He's doing really good. We're basically getting somewhere with this guy. And even though I'm not keeping this snake, like I said, I like all my customers to have very tame, docile animals when they get them, because they're just much easier to work with and easier to manage, you guys. But look at how beautiful he is. Such a gorgeous animal. I love this leopard clown het for albino. We're actually holding back his brother. If this was a girl, you guys, it probably wouldn't be going anywhere. But unfortunately, we hit 2 boys in the clutch, so I need to send this guy out to a new home. So hit us up on Morph Market if you're interested. But this guy's doing awesome, and I'm going to show you guys how we put him back in the cage without ending this on a negative note. So we're making really good progress with this guy. He's doing absolutely amazing. Just look at the change in his demeanor from the beginning of this video, you guys. So something that you definitely do want to do is, after you have that positive interaction with your snake that was once nervous but is now not too bad and is actually thinking and using its brain, we want to put him back and make sure that he doesn't take it as like a defensive thing or a scary thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to guide him back into his enclosure and basically let him crawl right into his hide like this and right off of my hand going in there. And that's basically all you want to do. Let that guy go back into his enclosure just like that. And that's an awesome positive interaction that has registered in the snake's brain, and he's going to remember that the next time I go to interact with him. So this is the way that you want to build trust with your ball python, or any reptile for that matter, is just you want to keep having those positive threads of interaction. Well, I got you guys here. I wanted to give you an update on our beautiful little girl, Ice Spice, the lavender snow. Look at how awesome her colors are, you guys. Just absolutely beautiful. She just went through her 2nd shed recently, so she is looking absolutely phenomenal. And I'll tell you what, you guys, I really wasn't that big of a fan of the VPI Axanthic and Lavender Albino combination, but after producing it and seeing it in person, guys, I have absolutely fell in love with this project, and I can't wait to see the future of this project and what we can actually do with it to make it even more incredible. But look at little Ice Spice, so cute. And another thing, you guys, you definitely don't want to do when handling your snake is have food in the room, or actually handle food before you go and handle your snake, because you're going to have that scent on your hands and your snake may bite you, mistaking your hand for the prey item if it smells that, or if you have food in the room. So just common sense, you guys. Definitely don't handle food or have food in the room when you're about to handle your ball python. But that pretty much wraps it up, you guys. Handling your ball python is pretty easy for the most part. They're pretty slow moving, and they can be a little bit nervous as babies, but I'm telling you, once you build some trust with them, they are absolutely awesome, and they really, really tame out, and they do amazing. I can't tell you how many people I've helped overcome their fear of snakes by them just handling one of our ball pythons. It's truly awesome. I love it. But that's going to wrap today's video up, you guys. And to answer your question, no, ball python bites don't hurt that much. It's a superficial injury. Most of the time, it barely even bleeds, to be honest, especially from something like Ice Spice's size. But they don't hurt. It's really not a big deal if you get bit. And another thing I'll tell you guys is don't give up on taming your snake. Even if it takes a while to tame it out, just keep being persistent. Keep having those positive interactions with your snake, and eventually that animal is going to come to trust you. So keep all of that in mind, you guys. Use the tips that I talked about today, and I'll tell you what, you can build an absolutely amazing bond with these animals. And they may not love you back, but you definitely can earn their trust and have a beautiful relationship with the snake like this. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please smash that like button. Also, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys do when it comes to handling your ball pythons or your reptiles, and how you go about building trust with them. Also, you guys, do me a big favor and smash that subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. Big shout out to the Recessive Gang, Darius, AJ, and Dre. Big shout out to them. Keep doing your thing, you guys. Also, I want to say big shout out to everybody out there who is watching our videos, commenting, subscribing, liking the videos. You guys help spread our videos to other viewers who are interested in this type of content. And also, you guys, do me a favor, hit that bell notification as well so you get notified anytime we drop a video so you can see it right when it drops. But I'll talk to everybody soon. Peace.